On today's episode of Myth Busting, I'm going to test if you can make 1 million gold per day with Thaumaturgy. I came across this Reddit post by Silly Sheep Sleep titled Thaumaturgy is still my favorite, still making 1 million gold per day. However, the people in the comments seem to believe that that's not possible, and this one's saying I call you know. I have a full Thaumaturgy build. I've got the 50-50 in Alchemical Mastery too. I'm also a goblin, so I can do the rank 1s to rank 2s. I also have the full blue tools with max resourcefulness. So if this is possible, I'll be able to do it. First thing I'll need to do is chuck all this stuff into the calculator and see what I should be buying. I've updated this for the rank 1 to rank 2. So you just chuck rank 1 materials here and then put all the rank 2 materials in this one. And I'll do that now. When putting these numbers into the sheet, instead of just going, oh, it's 9 gold 20, I prefer to just chuck in 1,000 and then use that unit price for the calculator. So I've put in the numbers and it turns out chitin's going to be the best at 81k per hour, if this is accurate. So I'll spend all my 200,000 gold on that. This is all the chitin I could afford for 200,000. I'm going to be able to get through this quicker than at 1 hour. I'll just time this with the potions, so I know they're 60 minutes or whatever they get down to. That's how long this part will take. Just finished thaumatizing all this gloom chitin. I haven't done the transmutagens yet, but this is where the new little tech comes in. When you're doing gloom chitin, and it's going to be the same for when you're doing anything that gets you Arathor's spear, if rank 3 lure drop is more than 5 times the cost of rank 2 lure drop, you actually want to send these to a herbalist, turn them into rank 3s. So on the calculator here, I've just rounded this up to 43, and you're looking at, for 5 of them, 215 gold. So on this, you're making 18 gold per if you just send it to a herbalist. So it's just a little bit of extra profit. Just mulched all the lure drop I got from the Thaumaturgy into rank 3s. To do this with herbalism, you only need 40 out of 40 bountiful harvests. You can do that in less than an hour on any new character for free. Just went through the transmutagens. I got a few Mucker Blooms and leathers, wherever they are, right here. And also the Blessing Blossom. I'm going to put them through again. So what you want to do is re-put them through until you're down to basically anything that's unprofitable to put through. So even though I bought chitin, which doesn't give you the Arathor spear, you get it from the mercurial transmutagens, which you do get from the chitin. And same as the lure drop right now, 5 rank 2s are worth 205 gold. So I'm going to send this to the herbalist and mulch it into rank 3s as well. Thought I was done getting rid of herbs, but it turns out Auburn is the same deal, 18 gold difference. So I'll send that over to mulch it into rank 3 as well. Just a side note for when you're mulching herbs, I thought I'd be clever and just buy a green tool because it doesn't matter at all about the stats on it because you're not gathering with it, and just enchant it with resourcefulness. So because the resourcefulness is here, but it turns out if you click this, can't put it on. So yeah, don't be me, you can't do that. Okay, we've gone through the first batch, which was 200,000, well, a bit less, 196,000 gloom chitin. It's taken us about 40 minutes, and it looks like we're about to get around 280,000 gold. So the 1 million a day seems actually pretty likely. Everything's solid except for the rank 2 Iron Claw. So I'm up to 251,000. We'll say 260, which is about right with my calculator. 40 minutes, 60k. It said 80k an hour on the calculator, so that's not that far off. And I'll plug the things in and we'll go again. Put all the numbers in, which takes longer than actually doing the Thaumaturgy itself because of bloody scammers. I need to update this sheet a bit, but it looks like this time I'm gonna have to do Mako Bloom. We got 80k last time, now we're down to 67, so this one will be a bit worse, but we'll buy some Mako. 250,000 of it. Something I like to do so it doesn't get annoying auto cancelling you over and over is once you're done with the stack, you put it below all the other stacks and then you start the new one. First hour just ending right now. I'll re-put these potions up. Nearly through the Mako Bloom, but then still have to go through these transmutagens. I'm hoping craft seems wrong because done with the transmutagens and the Mako Bloom. I'm going to re-put through this Acarite though, and the Blessing Blossom, and probably this leather, and then we'll go see how much I made. I just posted everything. We're looking at about 312,000. I think we had 260 after the thingy, so that's an extra 50k in 15 minutes, I guess. Oh no, a bit more than 15 minutes, but 1 hour and 15 minutes rather. So I'll wait for this to sell and retype it in. Just finished my third batch of stuff, so I'm into 2 hours and 3 minutes now. Just checking the prices to see if I should make rank 3 things, and look at this. That's a 30 gold difference. So I wonder what herbalism, just buying and selling this stuff is worth, because obviously people aren't doing it for a gap to be that large. Yeah, never mind. I know why people don't do this. It takes for a long time. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be very good gold per hour. Sure, you'll make gold doing it, but not really worth doing. So we're 2 hours and 7 minutes in. We're looking at about 370,000 gold, so that's 170,000 profit so far in those 2 hours. My brain's not working. I can't think of what half of that is right now. Well, 85,000. So we're looking about 85,000 gold per hour right now. So that's going to mean to get 1 million gold in a day, it might take me around 12 hours if we keep at this current speed. So I've gone through 3 sets so far. I've done 2 chitons and 1 microbloom. And this 4th time it's microbloom again at 76,000. I'm going to start skipping a few hours because I'm just going to be doing the same process. Typing in these numbers, pressing the Thaumatized key, selling stuff on the auction house. There was one thing though. Microbloom this time, rank 2, 21 gold, 8 silver. If we go to rank 1, 21 gold, 20 silver. So this is one of the cases where you actually don't need to be a goblin or a Coltiran to do this, and you'd still be making the same amount of gold. There's actually quite a few examples of rank 2 being cheaper than rank 1 while I've been putting in the numbers. So you can do this on a non-plus skill character for sure. 2 hour 51 mark. Chitin's 1 out again on this one, but again it's the rank 2 version is cheaper than the rank 1. So again, this would be one where you don't have to be a goblin or Coltiran. Even though leather's lower than chitin here, I'm going to try it because leather goes into Blessing Blossom as well, which is still a profit. So I'm going to go through the leather, then through the blossom, and that all will go into Arathor's spear, and we'll see how that goes. I'm currently 4 hours and 51 minutes in. Just going to demonstrate how I do Thaumaturgy. So I'm going through this Stormforged leather, which then turns into spear, blossom, and Ironclaw. On my sheet, I haven't even included spear because that's obviously not going to be profitable. Ironclaw was there back when it used to be cheap, but you can see that's a negative. But leather and blossom are positive. So once I've gone through all this leather, I'll then go through this blessing blossom that you get from Thaumatizing leather. And then from the volatiles, you get microbloom, bismuth, weavercloth, and stormdust. And you see here, microbloom's in profit as well. So once I go through those, these can sometimes be buggy and not give you exactly what you said. See how I got Ironclaw and thingy, but there they are. So all the microbloom I get out of this, because it's profitable, I'm not going to sell that. I'm going to re-put it through and continue that process until you're down to only materials that are in negatives. Also, when I go through this blessing blossom, I'm going to get more leather from it. So then you repeat the process again. I'll get rid of that leather. It's pretty circular until you're really only left with a spear and Ironclaw from the leather. I'm 6 hours in now. I just had to re-up these potions and I'm still going on the Stormforged leather, just getting through the blossom I've got from it now. And then I'll have to do all these transmutagens. We're about at the halfway point. I've made about, I'm assuming all this will sell, I've made about 500,000 gold by now, and that's taken me 6 hours and 35 minutes. So for the million, that's going to be 13 hours and 10 minutes. If we just do my gold per hour for that bit. My gold per hour so far has been about 77,000, which isn't really too bad for just AFK, and I guess. All that leather I just bought, which took me 1 hour and 45 minutes to get through, was about 136,000 profit. So that was down at about a 68,000 gold per hour. I'm at 9.5 hours in. I've probably got about 800k total. Prices are on everything. It's absolutely in the tank. It's insane. Like the chitin's down at 1450, blossom's down at 1470. You know, you're getting leather for, look at this, 12 gold 50, which is what I'm going to do. I'll spend my last 95k on this leather. The prices being so low doesn't actually mean Thaumaturgy is no longer profitable. It's always going to be profitable, always. It's just the amount of gold you get per hour is, the lower the prices are, the lower that total's going to be. Unless there's a very large variance between the items in the group you're doing, but that's really not the case at the moment. I left the volatiles from the microbloom I just did. Bit of bug. I don't know if it's intended or not, because, you know, Blizzard are weird. Like, they had hidden skill value in Dragonflight, which was a weird mechanic, and you'd think that was a bug too, but it wasn't. So maybe this is intended, I don't know. But I'm going to do these volatiles, and then I'm going to do the leather. And then I'm going to do the volatile again, and then the leather again, and we'll see what happens. I can see here how I'm getting Aether Spear, leather, Ironclaw, spear again from this volatile transmutagen. I shouldn't be getting that. You should be getting microbloom, bismuth, stormdust, and weavercloth. So that's actually a loss of gold when you get the other things from it, because the value of leather comes from getting the volatile transmutagens. So it's a very weird interaction, and that's kind of what I was trying to do with the leather. Put the leather into other stuff. And watch with this leather now. I bet you I get the weavercloth, microbloom, bismuth, stormdust stuff, microbloom, weavercloth, stormdust, microbloom, stormdust again. So yeah, and this is obviously more gold. If you are doing leather, make sure you log out before you start doing your transmutagens. This seems to get rid of whatever bug it is. I think it's probably intended, but yeah, because if you do these transmutagens and they go into the leather things, you're actually losing gold, because the most valuable things is the micro, weavercloth, bismuth, and stormdust. So if you're getting, you should be getting those from the volatiles transmutagen. If you're getting something else, you're losing gold. I honestly think this might even be intended, because when I relog then, My first one was still Blessing Blossom Ironclaw. The rest are being the right things, Storm Dust and Bismuth and whatever for volatile. But yeah, the first one was still, and that's after a relog. So maybe this is intended like sort of overflow thing that you just can't see or something. And now when I do this leather, I should be getting, yeah, Bismuth, Weaver Cloth and whatever a bit. There it is. There it is again. And again. So that actually makes the leather way more profitable. And again. And again. And we're back to what we should be getting. I've shown this because I actually do think this interaction is intended. Because now we're back to what we should be getting from the leather. So yeah, the most profitable way to do leather, and it will be the same with chitin, is to break down the volatiles first, get your overflow buff, then start doing them, and then alternate between the two. This overflow thing might also work on the transmutagens. So if I go from these volatiles, giving me the best mats, and then I swap to this ominous, I'm going to see if I still am getting the bismuth, weave cloth and whatever. Yeah, there it is. That's normal. These ones are the normal ones. And again. So yeah, it works on the transmutagens too. So ideally, before you do any cheap stuff, you want to do volatiles first. Yep, here we go again. Before you do this though, it may be an exploit, so don't risk your account. I won't be doing it again, and this was just for testing. So in about 60 seconds, I'm going to hit the 10-hour mark. This looks like I'm about at 870,000 gold. I started with 200, so that's just 670k profit. So I'm still 330 short of the 1 million. With how the prices have come down, yeah, this might be a 16 and 17 hour shift. So if you're doing that every day, good on you. Just at 10 hours now, I've put in all the details again, and chitin's come out on top this time. But again, the rank 2 chitin was at 13 gold 33, and the rank 1 was at 1353. So 1333, rank 2, rank 1, 1353. So this is another case where you don't have to be a Coltiran or a Goblin. I really think it actually doesn't make that big of a difference for Thaumaturgy. And the reason I say that is because I don't really understand what rank 2's demand is, other than concentration builds. Because at the top end, you want to be using rank 1 materials, or rank 2, it'll be whatever's cheapest at the time, which is why the numbers should be basically the same to create your rank 2's. And then you have to use rank 3's to make rank 3's. So where the rank 2 demand is outside of concentration at the top end, I don't see it. So rank 1 and rank 2 should always be pretty much the same price. So you don't need to be Goblin or Coltiran. Because the market's been fluctuating a fair bit just these past couple of days, I'm probably just going to do these top rows, then sell all my materials, and then I'll do the rest and the transmutagens. And the reason for that is just so, in case the bottom does fall out more, I haven't made a big loss. That's probably a good general practice to do. However, sometimes it will go the other way and you'll lose gold. Potions are literally just falling now. That's 11 hours done. I think I got about 800k in profit so far, so I've still got 200k to go. So we're probably looking around 13, 14 hours. I'm not exactly sure on how much profit I got because obviously it's on the auction house and I got these materials, but I believe it's around 800k profit so far. We're at 12 hours and 9 minutes. Just ticked over as I was saying that. I got 220,000 here, and on the pending we're looking at another about 830. So I need another 150,000 to get to this 1 million profit. Just based off my gold per hour right now, that's probably going to be another 2 hours. Somewhere between 14 and 15 hours to get this done. Hopefully the next thing I do is my last one, because doing this much Thaumaturgy, doing my head in. I've got to the 800k, everything's sold. So I need another 200k, but then look at these depressing numbers. Right now, the best I can do is chitin at 41,000 gold per hour. So based off of that, I still have 5 hours to go, which I hope is not the case. So I'll probably buy 500,000 worth of chitin and then recheck the numbers, and hopefully the market's changed a bit and there's something better. About to hit the 14-hour mark as soon as these are done. So hopefully this is all I have to do and I've earned that $1 million gold profit. If I've gone through all this and I'm still short, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. Absolutely rough. I've just finished with all that Michael Boom, which I was hoping would get me to the 1.2 million. Did some math and I'm 19k short. This is at the 14 hours and 22 minute mark. So I've just bought some leather. So disaster has struck a little bit. I just recorded the full conclusion with the mailbox opening to get to the 1 million profit, and I didn't hit the record button. So here's take 2. Hit the 1 million profit. It took me, I've ran it up to 17 hours. So did I bust the myth that you could do this in a day from the claims from Silly Sheep Sleep? I think it's actually plausible. I hit the halfway mark at 6.5 hours. Like I had the 500k profit then. So that would have been 13 hours to do the 1 million, which is definitely possible. But then all the prices went down. So it ended up taking me a bit longer. So when he made this claim, like the prices would have been more up because this was 5 days ago. So definitely plausible. To actually get it done within the day, because this took me I did this over the course of 4 days. You probably need about 1.5 to 1.8 million gold at current prices, because during this video I only started with 200k, so I had to wait for my auctions to sell all the time. Whereas if you have the 1.5 to 1.8 million, you can obviously buy like 600k worth of stuff, do that, put it on the auction house, buy another 600k, and just continue that cycle over and over, because that should fill in the hours that it requires for the auction house to sell. So if you're just starting at low capital, you're not going to be able to do this in a day. That's not going to be possible. My goal per hour for this was 60,000 if you do the 1 million divided by 17. So 60k gold per hour is actually pretty decent, especially when you can be semi-AFK. Like if you're doing dual gathering where you have to be fully attentive and you're getting 50k per hour, you're pretty happy. So to be able to do this like semi-AFK while you're doing something else is pretty good. You can set this up like just on an alt, because Thaumaturgy is going to be profitable all expansion. So you don't need to do this in 1 week. If you just fill this up eventually through season 2, through season 3, and whatever, you're going to be just have a gold machine there that if you want to do something on your computer and you can't pay attention to a WoW, and you just click a button every 2 minutes and you make some okay gold. Like it's a great thing to have set up, and it's going to work all expansion. Thaumaturgy is also super easy to do. I've got the calculator here. It'll be linked in the description. My math, maybe it's not perfect, but I just made 1 million gold with this. So if it works for me, it'll work for you. Just type in your numbers from the auction house and see which one of these numbers is the highest and buy that. On this sheet, I did lowball the numbers too purposely. So when I did my calculations, like this is 3.25 when it really should be 3.3 and so on. And the reason I did that is because it's better to be lower gold and you end up getting more profit than you think than the other way around. For the refining of herbs, I don't think you actually need to do this because it's going to be lower gold per hour than just straight up doing the Thaumaturgy. The reason I did it is because I only started with 200k, so I needed to make my gold go that extra distance. So if you have low capital, you do want to do this because you're going to make more profit. So you're going to be turning your 1 gold into a bigger number. However, your gold per hour will be lower, but gold per hour actually means nothing unless you have the actual gold to continue creating stuff for that hour. So if you have high capital, you can skip this and just keep doing your Thaumaturgy. It's going to be more gold per hour. But if you got low, you definitely want to set this up. And it just takes the 40 points in Bountiful Harvest. It's not hard to do. Another thing is, if you think you have to be a Goblin or Culturan to do Thaumaturgy, you don't. Rank 2 and rank 1 materials should be pretty similar price the entire time. And if you actually watch through the video, you'll see there was numerous times I was actually buying rank 2 materials because they were cheaper than the rank 1 counterpart. So these prices are going to be pretty similar. Your gold per hour is going to be pretty much the same. So if you don't have Thaumaturgy on a Goblin or Culturan, it's not a problem. Lastly, for those watching my potion stacks, I sort of panicked when I was rewatching the thingy doing the editing. I was like, how have I spent 21 hours worth of potions? I was like, I didn't do this for 21 hours. I was tracking. I sent potions to the guy mulching my herbs. I forgot I did that. So yeah, I was in a panic, but yeah, that's where my potion stacks went. So anyway, yeah, the sheet's in the description. Use it to make gold. It'll work for you if you have a full build and you have the full tools. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Peace.